Hello, everyone. Welcome to Transcendent Kismet. This is the weekly tarot for the week of June 28th through July 4th. So we are still using my new deck it's not new now, it's over 2 months old now. The Crow Tarot. So we're going to do the energy for this week for the collective. So I'm asking Spirit and all of my spirit guides to give me some insight for the collective. I ask Archangel Michael to watch over our reading and see what advice we have for this upcoming week for all of us. This energy is pretty interesting now because we have so many planets in retrograde. As an astrology nerd, I know Neptune hits my chart pretty heavily, being a Pisces rising and having my Mercury in Pisces and being on a Pisces cusp. So Neptune really hit my chart. Last week I felt the energy pretty heavily, but you've got Jupiter in retrograde, Neptune in retrograde, Pluto in retrograde, Saturn in retrograde. Mercury just started going direct last week, and Mercury is closer to the planet. It does have a huge impact, but for those who are sensitive, you're going to be feeling all kinds of things. It just varies on who you are in your chart. But for me personally, it's been a lot of really reflecting time. I've been processing a lot, journaling a lot, doing a lot of self-care just to manage all of the different things that are coming up within me. So, all right. So as you can hear me shuffling in the background here, I am still doing some shuffling, and let's see what's on the back here. So let's see what energy is underneath the deck here. Strength. The Strength card is at the bottom of the deck. So that is an influence in all of this. And that's the first advice that we have, is to call on our inner strength and strength from Spirit, from our angels, our ancestors, our guides to be strong. And we have the strength within us. We have the inner strength to make the right decisions. For whatever happens this week, we have the inner strength to do what needs to be done, and whether it's to be still or to take action, and to take whatever necessary steps are needed for whatever comes our way, to either deal with things that we may not want to deal with, or even to deal with things that we've been waiting for to come through, finding the strength to make the changes that we need to make. Sometimes positive changes, sometimes negative changes. Either way, change is a challenge. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the cards. So the card for this week is the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords is definitely a kind of energy that does require strength, because the Ten of Swords has to do with feeling extremely defeated. It is the number 10, which is completion, closing out a very painful chapter and dealing with all the wounds that come along with it. If you can see all of the swords that are in the back of this crow, that is a lot of wounds, that is a lot of damage. It is a very painful type of a situation. And swords have to do with the way that we think. So when I look at the Ten of Swords, I think about, what are you thinking about? What are your thoughts? Are you having a lot of painful thoughts, a lot of fearful thoughts, a lot of thoughts that are bringing you down and making you feel powerless? Because it's hard to have power when you have all those swords in your back. You don't feel strong enough to stand up straight and and conquer and fight back and stand up for yourself and voice your opinion, you know, you feel defeated. It feels like you're done. You know, you're dead, basically. And the fact of the matter is, it is about how you think about it. It is about your thoughts on whatever the issue is. At the end of the day, mind over matter, faith over fear. You know, choosing to release fear is something that is an ongoing thing for, you know, even for me, you know, dealing with situations that I'm dealing with on my own personal, in my own personal life, is choosing to be faithful and not give into the thoughts of fear, knowing that either way, everything works out for the best. And that's a mantra that I use all the time, that if this is happening, this is working out for my highest good. This is working out for the best. I can't see it. I don't understand it, but I know that this is going to work out for the best. And also the power to tune into spirit, you know, to God, to source, and ask for help from your angels, from your spirit guides, from, you know, from God himself. He gives us so many tools and resources that that we have to find the strength to deal with all of the fears and the worries that we deal with, because these are also fears and worries. These are also fears and worries. And here's the other thing, we can flip this around too. Because when you flip this around, the swords fall out, and this can be the week of healing. So you can choose to leave it upright, where you are buried under the worries and the fears and the anxieties that can weigh you down and make you feel defeated and basically conquered and dead, left for dead. Or you can choose to flip this around and let those swords fall out, release them. Release all of these fears and worries and anxieties, and choose to heal yourself, to focus on healing all of those wounds, all of those stabs in the back, all of the things that have been weighing you down, by focusing on gratitude, the things that you're grateful for, all of the wonderful things that are in your life. Because that's also the law of attraction. And I'm a big believer in the law of attraction, where you want to focus on all that's going right. You know, focus on your wins, focus on your accomplishments. You know, every day may not be great, but there is something great in every day. You know, within every day, there's something beautiful, a small miracle, something that's a little blessing, no matter what you got going on. So it's good to focus on that and, you know, find the optimism to heal, because optimism is healing. And it's not saying, oh, that everything is always great, but it's focusing on everything that is great. So that's the advice from the Crow Tarot. I'm also going to pull an energy oracle card. I've had this deck for a while, but I haven't been using it that much, but it is a really good deck. This is by Sandra Ann Taylor. I love the artwork on this. I've had this deck now for many years, and I've used it for many, many years. And it also even goes into some of the chakras and some of the angels that you can call on for assistance, for whatever the energy it is. I'm very sensitive to energy, so you know, I like to tune into what energy am I picking up, and, you know, working with source, with God, to figure out how to incorporate the correct energy for my own success and for my own peace. And that will be for us, the collective, as well. So let's see, the bottom of the deck, we have the Magician and the Mirror. So that's energy. That's the same thing that I was saying, where you realize that you have the power. You see the empowerment there? You know, he has all elements. We have all elements within us. We are earth, air, fire, and water all at once. You know, being human, we have all elements. We can choose to flip that around with our willpower and with the strength, the inner strength that we have. And so the card that we have for the week advice is caring connections. We all have caring connections. Now here it's a romantic couple. You know, we have maybe a love interest that is someone who's caring in our life, that we can um, help us to find the inner strength to focus on healing, focus on our faith, and instead of focusing on our fears. But caring connections, focus on the word caring, is also, our friends, people who just care about us, family members, all the caring people in your life this week. Focus on those caring connections, cherishing them, um, being vulnerable when you need to, allowing other people to be vulnerable if you have space for it or bandwidth for it in your emotional center. Because when you're dealing and processing a lot of times it does require you to be alone and introspective. But and I know that I'm that way. I go into hermit mode. But it is okay to let those who truly, genuinely do care, and that they've proven that they've cared and that they are trustworthy, it's okay to let them in. It's okay to receive the care and the concern and possibly the advice, because sometimes God, Spirit, our spirit guides, they will speak through the people that are in our lives. They may have a message for us that we wouldn't normally be able to hear unless it comes out of the mouth of a loved one. So that's the advice for this week. Focus on healing. Choose faith over fear. Faith is not knowing all the answers, but choosing to trust the fact that everything always works out for the best, and that you may not understand why things are the way that they are, but you choose to focus on all of the good things that are going well in your life, and you choose to believe that things will turn around and are working out for your highest and your best good, because in the end they do. So that's the advice for the week. I hope everyone has a wonderful week. I'm wishing you all hope, healing, growth, lots and lots of love and support, and knowing that you have the inner strength and the inner wisdom to get through anything.